Hey everybody, it's Dr. McLean, and I will share with you a few tips that you can do right now that will take you about 5 minutes, won't cost you anything other than a little bit of your time, and it can dramatically not only improve your health, but dramatically reduce your anxiety, your stress. And right now, we've had a lot of people I've talked to that are fearful and they're stressed and they're anxious, understandably so, about all these different things that are going on. So I want to share with you a few things you can do right now, right where you're at, to start to turn things around. And so you can do any or all of these things. And the first one's called expressive writing. This is not a journal, although I believe in journals. I journal every day, but this is a little different. You just need a pen and a piece of paper. They've done several studies on this. One was with Holocaust survivors, and they split them up into groups, and one that did expressive writing. Now, expressive writing is something you're simply writing down things that you're emotionally charged about. Can be obviously about what's going on with the coronavirus. It's affecting your business, your income. You're not happy with the way it's been handled. Whatever those things are, and it doesn't have to be about that. Anything that you're emotionally charged about. And when they did with these Holocaust survivors, they tested them a year later and found the ones that did the expressive writing versus the other group, they just wrote about daily things. I went to the store today, I picked up groceries or whatever, things that weren't emotionally charged. The ones that wrote out the emotionally charged were much healthier. A year later, I did another one with college students. Same thing. They had less visits to the medical clinic, the school medical clinic, when they're expressive writing. One that executives that had lost their job, this is a study in 1994, and they had them, again, write out expressive things. What their one that just did like their daily activities, hey, I went and looked for a job. But then again, another group that wrote expressively their deepest, darkest joys and pains. And those were much more likely within months to get a job and get a physical result in their life. So all you got to do is 5 to 8 minutes. You take a piece of paper, and they said it literally doesn't even have to be legible. You write out what you're angry about, what you're happy about, your really expressive thoughts. And then when you get done, what do? You throw it away. You don't keep this, okay? You get rid of it. You just do a little bit each day, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, and it will dramatically not only improve your health, but again, bring that anxiety and stress down. Okay, so that's idea number one. Number two is similar. Well, I shouldn't say it's similar. It's writing things out much, much different. The other challenge we can have when we start to get anxious or stressed about things, or nervous or uncertain, our brain starts to run the worst case scenario. It's looking for, man, my job's, I'm out of work right now. My business is shut down. The economy's doing this. And we start to forecast in our brain. We don't even consciously think about this. But we start to come up with scenarios that might potentially happen. And a lot of times we don't even realize that we're going down this path, but what if I end up homeless? I lose my home, I'm in the breadline, I'm sleeping out on the street. And of course, those are possibilities, but for a lot of us, that's probably not very likely to happen, right? And so what you can start to do is take the things that you're concerned about. Pick one thing very specifically. You're concerned about your job, you're concerned about your business, you're concerned about your health, you're concerned about coronavirus, whatever those things are, and you write that with the very specifically what the problem is. And then you start to write out what could potentially happen. So what is the worst case scenario that could happen? And then you start to write down solutions. Now you don't have to do anything about this. You're just starting to like solutions. So what if my business never came back? They never hired me back, or the business I was running shut down. Okay, well, I could do these other things. I could, temporarily, I could downsize my house. Now the options, all the solutions might always not be fun, but I think you'll start to find you have these solutions that are really not that big a deal in the short term, and in the long term, maybe they actually end up being better. But when you start to write these things out, it starts to put your mind at ease, okay? You don't have to do anything about these things right now, but you just start to write down the possibilities, and you start to write out some solutions. And you could do this in 5 minutes tonight, and then do another 5 minutes the next night. And again, write those things out, and it's going to start to put your brain at ease. Just the act of writing those things down impacts our brain physically. There's been all sorts of really cool studies on that. Now, the last thing, this is a really simple one as well. Let me just picture this in your mind. Close your eyes for just a minute, and I want you to think of somebody that's really stressed and anxious, and then tell me what their posture looks like. Okay? Now take somebody that's really depressed and sad. What does their posture look like? Okay? So where I'm getting at here with this is that our posture affects our emotions affect our posture. If I tell you to stand up really tall right now, put a big, huge smile on your face, at least for that moment, it's impossible to be depressed. You can't have two emotions at the same time. You can't be happy and angry at the same time. You can switch very quickly from happy to anger, but you can't hold two emotions at the same time. So throughout the day when you're feeling this anxiousness and this stress, just start to get in a really good posture. Stand up nice and tall, get some good breaths, put a big smile on your face, and hold that. Try to do it for 30 seconds or a minute or 2 or 3 minutes. Even just walking around your house or go out for a walk and just a really nice strong posture, and immediately will start to impact your hormones. This is why chiropractic is so powerful in bringing and changing people's emotional states, bringing down these stress hormones and decreasing the bad hormones and bringing the good hormones and enhancing those things so you feel better. And this is why so many people say right after adjustment, they start to feel better, okay? So you can start to do these things right where you're at. And we've made a lot of accommodations here in the office to make it safe for people to get adjusted. That's an availability as well. We're even willing to come to your home and adjust you. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. Remember too, a lot of people are not supposed to be going to their primary care physicians right now unless they have a medical emergency. So if you've got some friends and family that they need some help, but they can't get in their primary care physician, have them contact us. We'll do whatever that we can to help them. And then obviously if you need supplements, if you have even just need a phone consultation, we'll take those and answer any questions you have over the phone. I hope you're doing great. And again, please reach out if you have any questions.